Welcome back to the Life of a Fit Pro. I am your Fit Pro, Aundra Anderson, and this is the introduction to a special 6-part series. I am turning 40 this year, big 40, and that seems significant to me, right? There's this amazing and immense responsibility and privilege that comes with having spent this many years and decades on this planet in this way. And I want to celebrate that and I want to share in that with you. So, all of my other fellow millennials born in 1986 that are also experiencing this, or maybe you are stepping into another era or another decade this year as well. And this is just a way to share in that experience. So, welcome to 40 for 40, where I am sharing 40 different lessons I've learned in my 40 years. And I do not take these lightly. These are things that I've gained through experience and things that I'm thoughtful and reflective about. And I want to share with you. Okay. And I'm fully aware that many of my clients, maybe even you listening to this right now, have already achieved level 40, as it were. And congrats. Congrats. We have a long ways to go, right? A long ways to go. And some of this might resonate for you, but honestly, maybe some of these things can be reflected upon at any age. So let's see. Okay, so 40 lessons I have learned in 40 years. And instead of trying to break or bring all of this into one episode, I'm breaking it down into 6 different categories. So as I was reflecting on these and writing them out, groups of questions or groups of lessons really started to emerge. I was sort of able to pair them into 6 different categories. So today, I'm calling this foundations. So things like discipline, growth, and becoming. When I think about this set, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 lessons in this very first set. The things that all of these are built on, which I came up with the name foundation because of that. It's like habits, mindset, truth telling, growth. All of these things sort of factor into it. And because I am both a personal trainer and a life and success coach, I wanted to pair these lessons with a life coaching question. So, not only is it something that I'm sharing as a life lesson that I've learned, and maybe you have experienced this same thing, but there's an opportunity for reflection. And if you are like me and you are a visual person, I will also be putting each of these episodes into the Secret Life of a Fit Pro blog so you can also look at them. So not only can you hear them and maybe you're watching this, but you can also look at the different lessons and consider the different questions. Are you ready to dive in? I am beyond excited. I have been scheming this series for a while. I knew that 2026 was a big year for me, celebrating 40 years, celebrating 17 years of fitness. Like this just feels things are in alignment, right? I'm in my end of Aries, new moon, Gemini season where alignment is the priority. And this feels really aligned. So let's dive in. Okay. And these are in absolutely no particular order. As I wrote out, I actually wrote like 60 different life lessons, but then sort of went back and looked at what things were kind of redundant, what things didn't really make sense to share, or like just the words weren't right. And I came up with a list of 40 that I feel really good about. And there was no particular order. So these aren't like the first lesson, the second lesson. These are just 40 things on the top of my mind that I wanted to share and also, again, pair with that reflective question. Okay. Number 1, discipline will carry you when motivation disappears. Okay. As a fitness coach, I get asked about motivation all the time, even from non-clients, people that are just, when I'm at work and I go to work out every day because that's part of my lifestyle, how do you find the motivation to do that? Girl, it is not motivation, it is discipline. It is discipline. So, discipline will carry you when motivation disappears. And the question that I'm pairing with this is where in your life do you need to rely less on motivation and more on structure? Oh, I love that question. I love that question. I don't want to go too fast through these because I feel like each of one of them needs like a pause and a moment. But again, if you are visual and you need to see these things written out, they will be on the Secret Life of a Fit Pro blog. And I think I'll probably put them into like a carousel for Instagram. Basically, if you're following me anywhere, you will find these. You will find them. All right, number 2, you don't need to rush your becoming. When I first became a fitness professional, I wanted to be the hot stuff. And I wanted to say yes to everything. I wanted to be top of mind for everything and everyone. And that burnt me out very quickly. Like, I can't believe I'm still here because of the first few years that I had as a fitness professional. And I wanted to be all the things. Like, anybody that I had learned from, it was like, I want that already. But I mean, taking classes from Shanti and Leslie Bender, these are like epic people in the fitness profession that I met when I was 21, 22, 23 years old. I wanted what they had. I was like, how can I quickly rise to the top? How can I quickly get there? There's literally no need to rush. The process of becoming is like so much more enjoyable than the actual end result. Because here's the thing. When you meet that goal or you get to that end result, you sort of look around at the top of the mountain and you're like, this is pretty looking back. Ooh, look at that mountain peak over there. Let's try that one next. There's just always something else to chase. So the beauty is in the becoming. So you don't need to rush your becoming. Question that I paired with this one: what would change if you trusted your timeline instead of forcing it? I love this question so much. What would you change if you trusted your timeline instead of forcing it? Oh my heck in heck. So good. Life coaching is insane. It's amazing. Like, these are questions that I would ask clients in a life coaching session if the situation presented itself. I would never force any of these questions on somebody, but if the conversation was leading that way, some of these are the questions that I've literally asked people, and like, you could just see the change. You can just feel the change. You can feel the light bulb. I love it. All right, the next ones, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more for this set. I say this one, I feel like I say this one so much. Consistency beats intensity every time. If you come to class and you want to go balls to the wall and then I don't see you for another month, like, what was the point of that? What was the point of that? If you have certain goals, you want to get stronger, one intense gym session is not going to get you stronger. One is not enough. One is not anywhere near enough. You need to show up consistently over time. That beats that single bout of intensity every single dang time. And you can try to contradict this anytime, and it will always be the same. It will always be the same. So this is a question related to that. What's one small habit you can commit to daily? Because we know that change is found in what we do every single day. That is consistency. And it doesn't have to be 100% either. Consistency does not equal 100%. Consistency just means showing up as you are 100 that day. So for me, sometimes that's literally just like foam rolling and laying on the floor. And that's enough. And that's enough. Next one. Oh, this one hits deep as I'm approaching 40, and maybe this also resonates with you. You can outgrow versions of yourself without guilt. Case in point, like a little over a week ago, I went to a professional conference that I used to be insanely involved with. Like, I got awards, I was the head of a committee, I did all the things for this group. And as I was like looking around, I had gratitude for where that involvement in that group had gotten me, but I felt absolutely no need to continue with it. And I didn't feel guilty about it. It doesn't matter that you poured yourself into something, that you've given hours and all this professional consideration. You can walk away from it, and that's okay. You oh my gosh, and maybe this is like a 40 thing or even older. We were taught you have a profession, you work there 30 years, you retire, you get the watch or the clock that they offer with your retirement, you get your pension, and you're done. But that's not the reality that we've been given. And the idea of spending 30 years working for somebody else, like, I feel like it's suffocating to me. Maybe for you, you're like, this is amazing. Loyalty for 30 years, I can do that. Now, listen, when it comes to fitness, I better be hitting the 30-year mark, and I will push myself to get there because this is what matters to me. But 30 years working for one company, pledging your loyalty to a company that will literally, I mean, case in point, like I keep saying that, but I don't want to give too many details, but where I work, somebody had given like 40 years of service, died, and they were replaced like 8 days later. Loyalty means nothing. Loyalty means nothing. Maybe it means everything to you, and I love that for you. But in the long run, I mean, you're allowed to walk away from something and not feel guilty for all of the time and energy you previously gave to it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, my question to pair with the statement or the lesson of you can outgrow versions of yourself without guilt is, what are you holding on to that no longer fits who you're becoming? What are you holding on to that no longer fits what you're becoming? It's okay to, again, have spent years and hours, maybe even a decade, working for a company that you thought was just gonna be it for you. It's okay to walk away from it. There's life after it too. Believe me, I know. This is my third career. Believe me, I know. Okay, and still have never gotten that 10-year umbrella that I was promised. Waiting on that. Just kidding. I don't need it. Okay, sidestep. I cannot use an umbrella. I am like incapable. There's just so much mechanism happening. I need a hood, and that's all I need. Anyway, I digress. Just some fun little quirk about me. This next one. Oh, I'm leaning into this one so hard. I feel like I've done it before, but I'm at a point in my life where I need to lean into it again. You don't need to have it all figured out to begin. Some of the best things that have ever happened in my life, I've just jumped in to be like, well, we're here now. My feet are on the ground, new surroundings. We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. No one has the answers. Literally, no one has the answers. You don't need to have it all figured out to begin. So my question I'm pairing with this is, what would you start today if you stopped overthinking? And don't think too hard about it. What is that gut reaction? What is the thing that you would start today if you weren't overthinking? And if these questions are like making you feel a way, y'all, this is life coaching. That's what life coaching is. So if you're like, I need more, I would love to explore any of these things with you individually or as a group. Okay, we've got 2 more. We are rolling through these. Oh my heck. Okay. Oh, these are like sort of related, but I kept them in because they each I felt a way about each one of them. It's okay to start over as many times as you need. I am living proof of that. I am living proof that I thought at one point, at one chapter, I had my whole life figured out. And then, like, major 180, turn right, don't look back. And you never know what could be around the corner. What if you're okay with like leaving something behind? It is okay. And you can start over as many times as you need. One of the biggest Google searches is, can I start over after 30? Yup. Can I start over after 40? Uh-huh. 50? Yup. Keep going. Keep going. You can start over. And the question I'm pairing with this is, where are you being called to begin again? Where are you being called to begin again? There's this, so depending on, I know that the Enneagram thing, the 1 through 9, I have a gut feeling For me, it's a gut feeling. For some people, it's a heart feeling. For some people, it's a head feeling. There's just something that you hear like whispering. There's something that you feel in the back of your mind or in your heart or in your gut that is meant for you. It is an exclusive feeling and thought meant for you. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. That is the thing that you're being called to do to begin again. It's real. It's real. And the last one for today of our 40 life lessons that we've learned. I love learning. This one's hard. Growth happens when you tell yourself the truth, right? We can talk to other people and like reframe the truth and like give little tidbits about what the truth actually looks like. But when you take that and you turn it around and you're very incredibly super honest with yourself, that is the moment where you start to grow. That is where you start to grow. You can weirdly lie to yourself. So strange. But when you turn it around and you start being honest, like for example, I was working with a client that her goal was to lose weight. I don't often talk about this piece of it. Like weight management just isn't something as a specialty for me. I'm more into like movement management. But anyway, this was a goal. And when, she kind of kept like a log of like what she was doing, her movement, what she was eating, and she wasn't being honest. Like the stuff that she was writing was because like other people would see it. She wasn't putting everything on there. And like there's no shame in what you're doing. We're trying to find a pattern. We're trying to figure out, why is it that things aren't moving in the right direction when it seems like on paper you're doing everything correctly? What are we missing? What's the missing puzzle? And there wasn't anything medically like with the doctor. There wasn't anything like out of sorts. And it was that there were some like early morning, late afternoon, late night trips to the cabinet for things that she wasn't writing down. And it wasn't even like she was lying about it. It was that it was something that was so natural, such a habit, such a thing that she just did all the time that she didn't think to write it down. Like it was just something that she did. But once she realized it and was honest with herself, boom, did things change. Boom, did things change. That is where growth happens. All right, so growth happens when you tell yourself the truth. Don't lie to you. You got to live with you. Don't lie to you. You're too precious for that. So my question to pair with this, and this is a hard one, what truth are you ready to admit? What truth are you ready to admit? Oh, these things give me all the feels. I swear my life has been changed in 40 years so many times. And I wanted to start with these lessons and these questions as foundations for discipline, growth, and becoming, because these things are so foundational to who I am and who I am becoming. And I don't even think like the last time has happened. Like I think growth and change will continue to happen in many ways, specifically professionally. Like I'm feeling the call, I'm feeling the pull to those things. So I'd be curious, if this episode made you pause, if there was a question or a moment that just made you go, no, wait a second. Let me reflect on that. Let me think about that. And again, if you are a visual person, please check out the blog because you'll be able to see all of these words in writing. Awareness is where it starts, right? Recognizing that you feel a tingle or a pull to something, that's where you can start. So if you are committed to wanting something different, something new, some kind of a change, it starts with awareness. And my hope is that sharing these life lessons with you and pairing it with these life coaching questions, it might bring something alive in you and we can talk about it. So maybe you can take something from today and apply it to this week. Maybe you can take something from today and reflect on it. Or maybe you want to hit up your girl and do some life coaching, because that is something I'm really anticipating is going to continue to boom. I am putting it out there. I think that if it's not already, life coaching is going to become part of like an employee assistance package. It's going to become part of workplace wellness packages. Like it is life changing. And I think it should exist in those places. And yeah, that is episode 1 of this 6-part series where we talk about 40 life lessons and pair it with a reflective coaching question. Thank you so much for joining me for this first installment. I am so tickled to be able to have this platform and to share all of this with you. And I can't wait to share the other pieces. And if you are like me and you love to read the last page of a book first, because I do that. I want to know where I'm going before I get there. I have posted all 40 of these on the Secret Life of a Fit Pro blog. So you can see all 40 lessons without the questions yet, but all 40 lessons all written out. And this is just really to dive into them, to dissect them a little bit. And I'm going to take for the next 40 days, each day is going to have a dedicated post to each lesson and each coaching question. So we can get even like more into the weeds because I love to do that. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me for this week's The Life of a Fit Pro, and I'll see you next time for part 2 of this series. Bye.